Hello everyone at Enchanted Emerald. This is Melissa bringing you a reading here today for Monday, October 23rd, 2023. And out of the Astrology Answers deck, we have the World card coming out today. So really feeling as though this is a sense here that it is time for us to pick ourselves up, right? Pick ourselves up off the floor, pick ourselves back up, pick ourselves up by our bootstraps. Really feeling as though this is something that's had to do with us feeling down on our luck, feeling as though we've been down and out, and really feeling like this is something that we've had to do repeatedly and we're tired, right? I really get a sense that this is something that we are not really necessarily embracing. We may be kind of going through this unwillingly on some sort of a level, feeling like we're tired of going back to the drawing board, right? But what it really ultimately is even though we're feeling a little bit defeated, feeling as though we have our nemesis at hand and we've faced this ultimate dilemma before, we are really going to start from scratch. From the beginning, we're going to be doing things independently. It's going to really promote us to next level because we're going to really do things differently this time. And I think that this is where things have kind of led to this downfall. It's created this change agent within your life where even though this has put us into a space we aren't necessarily wanting to be in, it's led us to really start to think about things, to re-examine things, to redefine our goals, to maybe even change our role entirely. And so this is where this has to end so that we can go next level. And I love that. And so this is where this current version of yourself or this current reality of ourselves has really been challenged. Perhaps in the past, this has been where we have made choices perhaps out of fear, not wanting a certain outcome, so we stick with a certain path, or perhaps we have played it safe, so to speak, right? We've stuck to our comfort zone. Maybe we have simply reacted to things that have come into our awareness. And so this is where we start to have to look at things differently, really start to question, how did we get here? And maybe you already are at that space where you're questioning that, where you could feel a little bit lost right now. And I feel like that's not as important as like where we're going, right? Like where we feel lost right now and having remorse of choices or decisions that have led us to this space is not going to serve us. So we can't sit in that space. We can't regret some of those things. We really have to be focusing on where it is that we're going. And we have to start to get committed to a new path, or committed to paths that are certain outcomes that you want, right? And so where is it that your path is taking you? Are you committed to this path? And is it something that you are going to dedicate or rededicate your life to? Because I really feel like this is a time where things could present for you, where you could be turning opportunities down because you're feeling like it's not in alignment with who you are at your core anymore. Or perhaps you've been leading yourself down a certain path where you feel it's not in alignment with who you are at your core, and you can no longer do that anymore. You could be leaving a job, you could be leaving certain situations. I'm getting big chills with that. So I'm really feeling like this is standing up for yourself, right? Standing for something is going to get you into a place where you're feeling like you have some solid footing and you're not going to feel so lost as a result of that. And so it's moving forward in a different way. And I feel like this is going to require a lot of focus from you, okay? A lot of determination. And I really feel like this laser focus, where it can feel really intense at times, where maybe your friends or family might feel a little bit neglected by you because you will start to maybe not take as many calls from them, maybe not schedule as many dinner times together or things like that. But it's okay. This is something that you have to do for yourself right now, and understand that the time will come where that can be incorporated once again. But once you get to a space where you feel like you have found your footing, so to speak, with that, I do feel like there will be times where temptation will creep in. And I think that that's really a space that's going to challenge your discipline in moving forward on that path. It's almost like a test from the universe. Like, are you committed to this path? Are you committed to what you're working on? And so I think that this is really a point to kind of mention that, yes, it's important here to be mindful of how we come off when we decline those invitations to those parties or events and things like that, because when we do so in a kind way, it will be received a little bit better. And so also there's a double-edged sword there, because kindness can be mistaken a bit for weakness, where they feel maybe they beg you, and so then it gets into a little bit of awkward territory. So there's a reminder here for you to remain confident with those choices and speak confidently as you do those things, because a no means no, right? And so it's important here not to backtrack as well on your word, right? So don't go back on your word. I see this as an absolute, right? Where like at all costs, do not go back on your word, because I feel like once that happens even one time, it will happen more than once. It will put you in a position to be taken advantage of. And so that's not a place, when we have that kindness as weakness, that weakness can be portrayed, when you look at the World card, is not a great spot to be in terms of how you're portrayed in the world or within relationships, right? We don't want to be in a space where someone can view us as weak, so that we will be taken advantage of, right? In the ultimate view, right? And so I think that that is really important, that because of that, it's important for us to think before we speak, be mindful of our words, be sure that what we are speaking aligns with our vision, aligns with our truth, aligns with being kind to one another, but being kind and even assertive at times, right, when we need to be. And I also think that there's something here highlighted as well, and being able to delegate tasks within maybe a family unit. If you have others in your household that you can delegate certain things to, so that you have a little bit more time to focus on that dedication to that path, or rededication to that path, because it's okay to be a little bit selfish with your time. It's okay to allow yourself some time and space to grow into that path, and allow yourself to be committed to what you're standing for with that. And what you're not standing for is also equally important. So I think ultimately this is leading us to a space where we can now perhaps be a little bit more selective in what we're choosing to react to, or what we're choosing to respond to, because no matter what is coming into our awareness, we have the ability to choose to react to that or not. So where maybe our current version of ourselves, or our current vision, and our current reality is kind of been maybe like a product of all of our choices that we've made up till this point, and maybe we have always ultimately been outcome oriented or avoiding certain outcomes, so we've always made certain choices based on that. Now maybe this is a space now where we can take our power back a bit, take a look at things, and understand that there's also power in not simply reacting to everything that comes into our awareness, or not responding to everything that comes into our awareness. So you have a choice here to not to react to everything, right? And so this is where sometimes things are just meant to be acknowledged, right? And so this is where that real power is. This control over our thoughts, our control over our emotions, will help to shape the version of our reality going forward, and what it will be produced in time. And so this is beautiful. I love this read for us, and I do so hope that this resonates for you. As always, I will be back with another read for you guys again soon. Thank you so much. Take care.